you guys doing? We're gonna try this again. I tried to go live a few minutes ago and it said I had poor reception and it wasn't kind of picking it up. So rather than cutting you off again, I just moved to a different spot. So hopefully this will work out good. But anyway, I've been thinking about, I have this crazy confession that I wanted to give people. So to start off with, I've been spending probably the last 2 years just kind of trying to figure out what I was going to do with my life, what I was going to do next. I've kind of got a lot of different interests when it's all said and done, and trying to figure out exactly which place to go next has been a little bit difficult. And so people keep coming up to me and saying like, "Oh, Ashley, what are we praying for? Like, what is the goal? What are we trying to do next?" And I think, honestly, I would probably just give people a completely different answer every time, because I wasn't really sure when it was all said and done. But I had this little secret plan in the back of my head that kind of brought all of my interests and all of my loves together. I call it the airport plan. Okay, so if you don't know, I actually have quite a vivid imagination. I kind of keep that on the DL when it's all said and done, but I really do. And so the way the airport plan goes, let me see if I can explain it a little bit. So basically it goes that I am at the airport, or I'm traveling in some way, shape, or form. And what happens is there's like this big, there's like some kind of big crash or something, like falls or what have you, and there's like a big avalanche of some sort, and so this kid gets trapped somewhere because of this problem. And so the kid is trapped underneath something, and there's all these like big burly guys that are trying to figure out how to like cut the kid out or whatever. And I'm there, and I'm like, you know what? No, let's not do that, guys. I'm short. Like I'm tiny. I can crawl under there. I'll just assess and see how he's doing, and then we'll go from there. And so I like crawl under wherever this child is, and I'm like assessing, trying to figure out if he's hurt or not. And then he's really upset. He's like shocked. And so I just start singing to kind of calm him down, because singing always calms me down if I'm upset. So I'm just like singing a little song and calming the child down, and I assess him, and it seems like he's okay, like we can move him. And so we get him out of the thing, and then everyone starts grabbing like their phone. You know, everyone has their phones nowadays. So we've got all these just little random videos going like, oh, it's the singing doctor, how sweet, blah, 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 blah. So then the news people are there. I don't know why the news people are at the airport. Obviously, they just hang out there. It's just a wild and crazy place sometimes. Anyway, so then the news people come up, and they're like, so who are you? Tell us a little bit about how this all went down. And I'm like, oh, well, you know, I've done missions in all kinds of places. This didn't really seem like that big of a deal. I just wanted to assess him and see how he was doing. And they're like, wow, like you're like the singing doctor, the singing pediatrician. It's just great. And they're like, so where do you work now? And then I would be like, oh, well, you know, I'm not working right now. I'm kind of between jobs. And the news anchor would turn to the TV and be like, well, there you go, folks. If you need a singing doctor who does missions, here she is right here. And so then obviously that would go viral, and then people would be like, oh, actually, I've always wanted a singing doctor who does missions. And so people would just be like contacting me from all these different places. And so I'm telling my friend this a couple of months ago, and she stops me at this point. This isn't even the end. There's more. There's like Ellen DeGeneres is involved and all kinds of other things. But my friend stops me at this point, and she goes, wait, hold up, wait a second. Are you kidding me? That's the only way that you can get a job if all of this stuff happens? And I kind of stopped, and I was like, well, you know, when you say it like that, you make me sound ridiculous. But, I mean, I thought it was a good plan. And when it was all said and done, it was really quite difficult for me to admit that this had become, like, my last option. Like, this was my last resort, and this was the only way it was going to happen, that I was going to get any kind of work. And this was the only way out. And it was hard for me to admit that, like, that's actually quite ridiculous. When it's all said and done, I believe in God, and God's ways are higher than my ways, and God's thoughts are higher than my thoughts, and I'm pretty dang sure he's been able to think of something else besides the airport plan in order to get me some work when it's all said and done. So I think